Hey guys, and welcome to another speed build. As you probably saw by the title, this is another 5K build, and it is because that my other 5K build is one of my most popular videos, and 5K builds are always fun and challenging to make, so I thought I would try to make another one to see if I could make something that wasn't too similar to my first one. And in this build, there are some small changes, like I didn't use a double bed, which I did in my first one, even though only one sim could access it, which was kind of a brain fart on my behalf. So for this one, I just wanted to stick with a single bed. It was a lot cheaper, and it just made more sense because to fit two people into this tiny place would kind of be torture. So I stuck with just having a single sim in mind, and I wanted to have it colorful but more coherent as compared to my first one, because I felt like my first one, it was just what I had, like what I could afford, so it became a little bit of a mishmash of different colors and stuff. So I tried to keep a theme of turquoise. It ended up being turquoise, but in the beginning I was still trying to figure out what I wanted, so I had a yellow chair, which I will change, but yes, because when you have a little small space, it doesn't mean it has to be boring. So as you can see, I just added a TV. I actually ended up moving that, like deleting that, because I mean, it's so small, but it's so expensive. And if you live in such a small house, I don't think you're gonna spend so much time in the small house. So I ended up just putting a boombox instead, because I mean, you can always listen to music, but a TV is probably not your highest priority. It's probably just working. So I ended up removing that. But yeah, there is not much space or money for activities for this kind of build. I couldn't even afford a bookcase. So right now I'm struggling with a floor because I had chosen a bit too expensive things, and I ended up trying to see what I could cut down on, and that ended up being the TV that had to go. So sorry if your Sims like TVs, but it only costs 500, so you can just get a new one when you start working. So yes, this is a very efficient, bare minimum build, but I feel like most 5K builds are just simply there for being cheap and for being a starter home if you want to start working. And I mean, if your Sims can survive in it, I guess that's fine. So hopefully it will be enough. And also with this build, I wanted to focus on making it nice from the outside, like looking kind of nice, because my first one was kind of like a greenhouse in the middle of everything with nothing outside, and it looked a bit awkward. So I'm going to try to focus on making this nice and aesthetically pleasing from the outside as well, which I kind of didn't think about in the first one. And right now I'm actually focusing on the outside. And a thing that I noticed was that stairs, even though they say that they cost like 5 simoleons, you can't place them, and they end up costing like 300, and I don't know why. I don't know if that's a bug or if it's like per step or something, but that kind of annoyed me because I thought I was going to have some nice stairs up to the house. So I ended up just having this little blip or something you have to walk over, which thankfully your Sim's can walk over without having to need stairs or anything. So working on the outside, I ended up putting some pillars, and I ended up going for this white and black look to make it a little more modern and sleek. And I actually prioritized some vegetation outside, which I didn't last time, which made it look very, very cheap and very sad. So this time I actually put in a little bush, and I put in a little pathway, and I end up putting a tree in as well. And yeah, this is where I put in the boombox instead, because our Sims they don't have time for TV. That's how it is. And I actually ended up going, as you can see, I ended up going for this turquoise floor, and that was because it was free. That was one thing. And because it added that pop of color I wanted, that made it all coherent. Because on the walls, I felt like it became too much, but on the floor, it's kind of like a nice detail. So, but yeah, I think we are about almost we're getting there, almost done. And I just added these little fencing I had room for, and then added this little plant, and I ended on 0 simoleons, not 1, but 0. I ended only on 0 last time, so I'm really happy about that. But yeah, here are the screenshots. It's small, it's efficient, but it's usable, and it's everything you need. So that was it for this time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this 5K speed build 2.0, and I'll see you next time. Bye.